Say something now. Malik, did you say something? Yeah, I did. Hello. Oh, it's this one.
Yeah, turn that.
А, тут спикер работает, что ли, если я могу?
Ты на кнопку нажми, там кнопка должна.
Вот именно. Yusuf should have clicked whatever needed to be clicked.
Так, I introduced the broadcast here.
Start? Okay, you're the one who introduces.
Все? Do we start?
We're live.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. This is the KIS Invitational CISA tournament taking place in Dynamo Kyiv training facility. It's your boy Vladimir Matyushenko and Malik Banat. We are part of the commentating team, so we'll stay with you. Without further ado, my partner Malik.
Thank you very much, Vladimir Matyushenko. I'm very happy to be here.
All right, our first game is sir,
Are
is
the Warsaw Warriors versus the Bucharest Vampires.
very interesting. We have already taken interviews from both the Warsaw Warriors and the Bucharest Vampires, and I can say that the Warsaw Warriors are prepared for this game harder than maybe any other team.
Yeah, you know what? Definitely. I'll have to agree with you on this one. And in some ways, it's familiar territory because, as you might know, the second head coach, Coach Showski, is returning. He goes way back with the Kozak community. In fact, Vladimir Matyushenko, if I'm not mistaken, he won the KSSL championship for high school boys 2 years ago.
Basketball. We were on that team, and allow me to say a big thank you to Coach Showski. I enjoyed.
Yeah, Coach Showski, great coach, very energetic, very passionate about what he does, and we wish best of luck to both teams. But the Warriors definitely have a very good backstory that we know of. As we interviewed them, the three of their girls, there are three co-captains on that team, both returning for CISA, so experienced middle school vets, as you can say.
Yeah, so far the record for all teams is 0-0. These are going to be the first games. So the teams will feel out each other, and then tomorrow on Saturday we're gonna have a serious competition with teams battling for the first, second, and third place. Right now we only have an introduction.
Yes. So far we don't know much about the Bucharest Vampires team, but judging by the eliteness of the school and their sports program, we guarantee you that this is gonna be a thrilling match.
Yes. Well.
And if I'm not mistaken, Volodymyr, back a year ago when we hosted the high school girls football CISA, the finals were played by our KS girls and the Vampires Bucharest. So we definitely know that they have a good feeding roster, youth development for the football program here. So it's exciting to see. Right now we can see the Bucharest side warming up.
Yes, of course, our own KS girls are also fired up. We have a pretty young team. The captain of our KS middle school girls team is actually a first year. So the expectations are not high. We may be considered the underdogs, but the girls know that they have a really good chance at taking...
And she's a new student, is that right?
Yes. She is actually a new student, and to be honest, that makes her an even better player, you know.
Yeah, very well. So, Vladimir, what do you think are going to be key to success for this game for both sides?
Well, to be honest, we don't necessarily know how exactly both teams play, but as long as they have good defense, as long as they know their positions, I'm sure the offense will come through in the game.
And how important do you think it is to get off the right foot and start off with the right momentum first half?
Well, if you manage to score a goal in the first half, that means I think the players on the bench and the whole team will be fired up, and they know what's at stake. When you score a goal, you know that there's two things you have to do: score more and prevent the opponent team from tying the score. So I'm sure that once either team will score, the game will get really, really nasty. Lots of action, I guarantee.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see the first team who scores if they are gonna turn to more defensive strategies, as the famous park the bus strategy, or continue on clashing with their opponents to score a couple of few more goals. You never know.
Yes, of course. We have to thank all the coaches and the organizers of this tournament, specifically the Dynamic Eve staff, for allowing us to use this training facility. Big shout out to them. Um, I think the games will start soon. They should be scheduled to start in around 5 minutes. So stay with us. We'll be back.
So the teams are ready to play now any moment. And we'd like to begin by introducing the Bucharest Vampire squad. Uh, the first player is Emma Olayos, Pilla Gusaido, Keza Emirayo, Jaden Whitney, Ziv Doran, Noga Rachat, Emma Nastase, Hannah Atchim, Calais Jones Di Matteo for the Bucharest Vampires A team. And now we have Vova with the Warsaw squad.
So the starting Warsaw squad for this game. At striker we have Ola. Then we have Gabi. Left midfield Kate. Center midfield Iga. The other center midfielders Marisa. Right midfield Tegan. Left back Natalia. Right back Catherine. Maisie. And goalkeepers Molly.
Yes, now you can see on the pitch, both teams are huddling up pre-game. The Bucharest Vampires are on the left of us in their traditional green, dark green colors, and the Warriors just had their applause of salutation and cheers. In the right side of the camera, they're in their traditional red and black colors.
Definitely, both teams are excited. We just had a small conversation with the coach of the Warsaw team, Mr. Shosky, and he said that they can win the tournament. That he believes they can win the tournament, and this first game is going to be a deciding factor.
And I've talked about with the Bucharest head coach, and she believes that she's positive in the chances of their team. And as we've seen in the warm-ups, the two teams have different approaches into how they warm up. The Warsaw team was seen huddling all throughout their warm-up, being more vocal in their approach, while the Bucharest team was seen warming up with long shots, long-distance shots, and kind of getting their kick before and getting their grind started before the game. And I've also overheard Coach Chowski talking to the team that he says this is the last time he wants to have this conversation, that from now on it's action, not words. And we're about to start any moment now as the girls are lining up and greeting with the referees.
So, sir, what is your prediction of the game?
It's really hard to tell. It's the first game, but I believe whoever sets the tone first will be successful in their other games today, because the CISA format, usually it's the first day, the team who wins gets kind of on a winning streak for that certain day. It can all change on Saturday, you never know that, but certainly the tendencies I've seen is that the first team wins, they continue for the rest. So this game will be a deciding factor early on, I'd say.
Right. So we have the Warriors versus the Vampires. Who will win? The sword and the shield, or vampire powers?
Very intriguing question, Vova. Love the symbolism.
So we have the Warsaw team on our side, so it's closer to us here. They have a interesting formation. I only see two defenders, one center midfielder, and it looks to me like one striker.
Yeah, the format looks similar for the Bucharest girls too. Likewise, two defenders, three midfielders and one forward. And so, Vova, what can you tell about this? This is a 7-a-side game, obviously. For you, as from a footballer's perspective, what is the difference playing 7-a-side and full field?
Well, definitely 7-a-side. You have we have a few. Oh, right now we have Warsaw already attacking.
Warsaw number 13 with a kick, and defense does a good job of blocking her shot.
And
this might be a chance for counterattack, but Warsaw midfield has no host, is not letting anyone through, and we see a defender hustling back.
And right now, I think Warsaw has the advantage. The ball control currently is in their favor, but we can see that the Bucharest Vampires are giving them a hard fight right from the start. To your earlier question, I think a seven-a-side game is much more interesting. There's more action. Kind of there's less space, so it's more about how the team works, how fast is the pace of the team. And definitely right now we have an attack on the the right wing. An attempt to cross and a shot.
Too strong.
Good take. This is only the beginning of the match, and we already have a shot on goal.
We have already 2 shots, one on goal and one off target. So now it will be a goal kick from the Bucharest Vampires. We will see if the Bucharest Vampires will respond by controlling the ball and perhaps showing us some of their own attacks. Okay,
Yeah,
so we have the right wing now.
As we can see, they're playing down the wing. But
Warsaw defense. Yeah, they steal from the left side. Great job by the left midfielder to fight back the ball. And now it's going to be a throw-in. Bucharest in control. Although Warsaw coming in, not afraid of the ball, not afraid of the kick, sacrificing her own body.
For the sake of the team.
And the love of the game. So it'll be a free kick for the ASW Warriors. Oh, a good kick right to the striker. She passes it back to the left side. And unfortunately they lose the ball. It's simply not fast enough. And now it's Bucharest with a throw-in.
You know, it's certainly, from the beginning of the match, I can see that Warsaw is definitely a more offensive team. Perhaps the Bucharest Vampires are luring them to their caves, and then they will strike back with a counter-attack. That's my personal take from the first minutes of this game. Right now.
And yeah, I agree. I'll have to agree with you on this one, but the Warriors did not even have any need to show their defensive side so far, as it has been mostly them on the attacking side. Bucharest throws in on the right wing. Now Bucharest perhaps with a chance of their own. Control the ball midfield. Oh, fancy dribbles. She gets through. And unfortunately could not find her teammate on the left wing. It'll be a goal kick for the ASW Warriors. Goal kick in progress. Oh. Not a good anticipation from the ASW left back. Oh, and now perhaps with a chance of their own. Oh, ricochets off the face. Wow. The Bucharest strikers doesn't seem too worried about the hit. Looked fatal from our side, but we've seen her how she responds back. Hustling for the ball, and now the Bucharest Vampires with a chance. Lousy mistake in from the Warriors side, giving up the ball. Miscommunication between the goalie and the ASW defense. So this is the response I was talking about from the Bucharest Vampires. Bucharest controls the ball in the midfield. Opening on the right wing hustles. Overpowered. Warsaw left back, just too quick. Throw in for the Bucharest Vampires. Vampires control the ball. He lobs the ball. The goalie's there, right there. So we've seen early on the Vampire striker, not afraid of the goalkeeper, not afraid of the ball, being directly hassling with the goalkeeper. And they were rewarded early on in the moments we've seen by their by their reluctance to back off, and they got a steal which almost cost the Warriors a goal. And here we see the striker just not quick enough.
Goalkeeper. What I'm seeing right now is a very experienced goalkeeper on the Warsaw team.
At the right place at the right time. Throw in for the Vampires. Oh, a little miscommunication, but the striker still gets it, deceives the defense, almost penetrates the defense, but the Warriors are on the right wing, a counter-attack.
She's
We've
using
seen
her speed, her pace to get past the defender. Tries to cross it in.
But Vampires do a good job of covering them, and it's their goalie kick now. They tried to.
She tried to find somebody
Yeah.
down the wing.
But the Warriors' left field is intact right there. And the goalie in a close chance. The goalie almost loses the ball, but it's in safe hands now.
It's a chance.
And the Warriors with a shot almost goes through the legs.
Is in the right position at the right time.
The right wing, Warriors. Warriors still back the ball. Attempt for a shot, but no. Warriors still in control. She crosses it to the right side. Straight pass.
It's dangerous.
And we might look for a cross here, which it is, but turns out it was a shot. It looked like a pass. It looked like a viable option for a pass, but number 18 decided to shoot.
Perhaps she wanted to take a shot on goal, and the goalkeeper would try to block it.
Yeah, deflect it for an opportunity for a tap-in. Very common notion in football. Now it's the Vampire goalie. With the
I'm noticing that the Warsaw team is attacking and attacking, and slowly they're getting tired. Right now, the Vampires are counter-attacking.
Yeah, the Vampires. Oh, beautiful dribbling. Oh, they regain possession. Vampires are in control, but Warsaw with an opportunity to answer, and we have an opening on the left wing. Will she cross? She indeed miscrosses her cross. And now it will be a Bucharest goalie kick. So yeah, I agree with you, Vova, about the Warriors draining a bit, being a bit exhausted by the Bucharest offense, which surprisingly the Warriors had a fresher start, but Bucharest seems to have found their tempo now and are giving the Warriors a good challenge. I really like the work of their striker, and they've already had a lot of opportunities, and I think in order to secure a goal, they should continue on looking for the striker and give her better quality passes. For
very dangerous.
Good save by the defense. It's going to be Bucharest goal kick. Bucharest on the left side looking for an opening. Finds it. The Bucharest right winger passes it to the striker. That's what I'm talking about. There's an opening on the left. Oh, but the defense right there to get her up. Another pass, and now we have a counter-attack, an opening. Oh, but stellar defense. Great patience by the Bucharest.
Yes, definitely. In both teams, the defense quickly analyzes the situation and they adapt to the offense.
Yeah, we've seen a couple mistakes so far, but nothing. One that could cost some goals, but luck was on their side, and they, for most part, they managed to be smart in their decisions. And it's the first game. Both teams are worried. They're nervous. They're kind of setting the scene for other teams, which get to sit back and watch how the CISA KIS 2018 middle school girls football presents itself. Oh, and Warsaw midfielder out hustles the Bucharest.
Still aggressive on offense.
Still aggressive attempt, but the Vampires do not give in so easily. Oh, there's an opening on the right wing from the ASW Warriors. She crosses, and was it a deflection?
I think that was. It should be corner.
That looked at a deflection. We will have a corner, ladies and gentlemen. Our first corner, ladies and gentlemen.
Looks like the Warriors have an advantage in terms
and as we can see, there is on the side pitch. Vova reported to me there is
number 81.
Number 81.
Ace in the sweep for the Bucharest team.
Perhaps Joker early on, um, already warming up. So that's an interesting decision by the coach. So perhaps we might have an early substitution in the first half.
You know, a really
Corner kick.
interesting.
Corner kick. Oh, beautiful execution from the corner. They find each other. And she crosses in. A goal perhaps? No, the Bucharest Vampire goalie is right there. In control. Now Bucharest Vampires with a response on the right way. Oh, and a beautiful touch on the ball from the Warsaw midfield. And now will be a throw-in for the Vampires. Vampires in control center. Once again, impeccable Warriors midfield, doing a great job defensively in regating the ball.
The ball goes from one side to the other, from one half to the other.
Yeah.
Very
great hustle. Oh, and once again another opening on the right wing. It's the right wing, in my opinion, for the ASW Warriors seems a lot more livelier than the left wing. What do you think, Volodymyr?
Yes, and the same thing is for the Bucharest Vampires. The right wing, we saw many attacks from there. Perhaps if both teams take notice of that, their defensive schemes will improve in the second half.
Yeah, and this is something the coaches should address.
What
And a touch, beautiful, oh, beautiful deflection.
What a save by the goalkeeper.
Beautiful save by the Bucharest Vampire goalie.
The Vampire Cave remains untouched by the Warriors.
Will be a throw-in for the Warsaw Warriors now.
And again, the attack is down the right wing.
The Bucharest Vampires throwing in the ball, excuse me. Number 7 touches the ball, crosses it to number 21. Perhaps another, and then, oh, left wing, but once again, the midfield covers for any mishaps or mistakes.
And now down the left wing, we almost had a chance of a counterattack for the Warriors, but again, the Bucharest defense did not allow such a threat.
Yep. Bucharest clears the ball. Number 7, the striker. Oh, beautiful execution, and perhaps a cross intended for the Bucharest right winger, but is too narrow to go through. The Bucharest right back with a beautiful cross, which is ricocheted from the Bucharest defense. And now we see them pressuring the ball, and indeed they get rewarded for it as the Bucharest Vampire strikers. Oh, and wow, very accurate pass, but Warriors midfield is right there. No place. Oh, and we see Volodymyr. We see an opening on the from the right
We saw.
fielder. Oh wow.
We just saw an attempt to score, but unfortunately,
And once again, we've seen the ASW Warriors midfield truly being the defensive side. So, as I said, I predict that Bucharest Vampires will be the first one to net one in, as the Warriors seem to be more defensively minded right now.
yes, but you know, it's a rare occurrence that we have a team where the midfield and the defense both hustles on defense and the offense. Currently, we see that the Bucharest Vampires have the ball, and this is a pretty. Oh, and the first half is over. 0-0 on the score. What can you say, Mr. Mom?
Well, despite the teams remaining scoreless, I'd say it was a good battle shown by both sides. I believe that the Warriors had a very fresh start and boost early on, and they seemed to set the tone, but the Vampires responded right back at them, and throughout the second half we've seen chances from both sides, but we've mostly seen the Warriors on the defensive side, their midfield being a bit too pressured, in my opinion, because in football it is hard to run back on both defense and offense. So a team that's pressured defensively will not have the same energy offensively. And we saw that on the although many breakthroughs on the right wing, a lot of those attempts collapsed due to a shot being missed or instead of a cross an attempt of desperation at the goalie, and the Bucharest goalie did very safe, secure hands.
Definitely.
Hands of glue, one would say. The ball seemed glued to her hands in the first half.
I also noticed that neither team made any substitutions.
Yes.
Does that mean that in the second half we'll see fresh players on the field fighting to get at least one goal in?
Well, Volodymyr, you mentioned that the seven-a-side is a more dynamic scheme of playing in football, and you're more experienced than myself in this case. So, do you believe that early substitutions is something that is common in the seven-a-side in the first half?
Well, it depends who's playing. As we just saw, both teams were very equal. There was, in the coach's mind, there was no need for any crucial substitutions. But right now, we might see a different situation, a different change in the second half. I firmly believe that the coaches will make sure that their star players have a rest of 1 or 2 minutes, and then chaos will be upon us.
Well said, Volodymyr. Although we've seen a Bucharest Vampire warming up on the sidelines, number 81, perhaps a new face will be exposed during the second half.
Yes, number 81, it reminds me of a certain NBA player, Kobe Bryant, who scored 81 points in an NBA game. That reminds me that that player might indeed be the ace in the sweep.
Yeah, the in this connotation, the positive curse of the number.
Yes, definitely. We can see that the teams are done discussing their plans. Right now, we'll resume the game. By the way, what do you think about the reffing?
The reffing, there were no yellow cards, no warnings for the player, and likewise no red cards. I believe there was no complaining whatsoever from both sides. Both teams showed great sportsmanship. Only for there was definitely a competitive spark between the Bucharest forward striker and the Warsaw goalie, but no incidents. Clear reffing, and out is an out. You and I can see that.
Yeah.
So far, a pleasure to watch. The game was quick in tempo. I'd say rather quick. There wasn't too many stops for free kicks. It was So we're excited to get. Okay, so we're back live with the second half. So far, if you've just tuned in, it's 0-0 from both sides.
Yeah, definitely both teams are playing energetically. Personally, what I see is really good football here. Quite a promising future for both teams.
And so we see it's an out of bounds. Vampires with
Throw in.
throw-in. Thank you, Volodymyr. Warriors clear the ball, kick it out. Likewise with the Vampires.
And
The
right
Warriors
now
control
we
the ball. A possible opportunity
have
for attack on the left wing.
A rare occurrence in today's game. Left wing.
However, Volodymyr, in the first half, it was the right wing of the Warriors, so it's the same number 5, chasing and kind of carrying the offensive game all by herself. And now we'll see a corner from the ASW Warriors.
Yes.
Number 10 with a kick.
The second corner for the Warriors.
Number 10
And
with a kick.
pretty dangerous.
And
But
nobody could catch
a
up to the ball. And a counter-attack for the Warriors.
That's what I was talking about in the first half. A possible counter-attack from the Bucharest Vampires. And they continue their attack. But the Warriors, they
Oh, and-
hold their shields up high and they're ready for any assault.
And number 10 apologizes. Number 20, excuse me, apologizes for an overpowerful pass to her teammate on the right wing. And so we got an update from our second side reporter, Camila Catlar, that the game on the other side happening is the Moscow Penguins versus the Prague Falcons, and the score is 1-0 for for the Prague Falcons. Stay updated.
And we currently have an attempt to attack down the wing by the Warriors. The striker has the ball. The left wing is completely open. But the Bucharest Vampires take care of things on the defensive end. A throw-in by the Bucharest Vampires.
Throw-in. Finds a teammate. We will switch. Number 18 with a throw-in. Searching for her teammates. Finds them. Number 7 strike. And another throw-in for the Bucharest Vampires. And number 7 has an opening. She is a speedy forward, although she is a bit out of her position right now. She's currently on the right wing. She has started the game as a striker, but so far...
Certainly. Perhaps she wants to make use of her height compared to the defenders of the Warriors. And she wants to use the throw-in as an opportunity to get the ball.
No, very good observation, Volodymyr. Number 4 with the throw-in. Right side, Warsaw defense right there. Once again, another throw-in for the Vampires. And as
like
you've mentioned, yes,
but
with her height, she manages to secure the ball, but the Warriors defense shows no weaknesses so far in the second half.
Whoa,
Beautiful
an acrobatic
deflection.
maneuver.
Acrobatic maneuver that could not possibly be any smoother. Now, the Warsaw Warriors with a counter. Oh, and a beautiful dribbling through. Perhaps we'll see a cross, a pass, an attempt. Oh. Incredible anticipation from the Bucharest Vampires. And it was even... I was a bit startled by this counterattack. It was very quick in tempo.
Definitely. Very active.
Oh, and now we
again,
see
a
once
counterattack by the
again a
Bucharest.
steal on the other side by the Vampires. And so far
And
the
right
ball.
wing, will they make a throw-in for the Bucharest Vampires?
Number 4 with the throw-in. Warsaw defense overplays them with a header. And
Right
across
now,
to the right wing for
They
the
have
Warsaw.
an advantage.
An advantage, but
but
number
unfortunately-
78, great patience.
Number 78.
Great patience, great body control, and the Warsaw right wing not able to break out. Although this can be an exception right here with a possible cross. The pass goes to nowhere as it's pressured by the great defense. And a steal midfield in no man's land. And
Going back and forth, back and forth. Great pace by the Warriors chasing the ball. They're
the
fighting
Warriors
for it.
stay with the ball. The ball is in midfield. There's options on both
And
sides.
again, a
But
chance for a counter-attack.
oh,
Whoa.
beautiful 360 spin
It
by
almost
number
worked
4.
out. Almost worked out. Very good
Yeah.
maneuver.
And perhaps we see a clear cross here.
oh,
And a teammate, an
shot
opening
on
for the
goal.
Warsaw Warriors. First chance of the game.
Oh,
And what a
it's a
goal!
goal!
Mod-
Golazo!
Mother of physics, what a goal! Did you see the spin on that, Volodymyr?
I could, you know what? Even my left leg would not be able to do such a 360-degree spin. What was that? Unbelievable.
Amazing. And the Warsaw Warriors take a 1-0 lead.
And right now, we see that the Warriors have
And
entered
the Warriors perhaps are not satisfied with just one goal and a beautiful opportunity on the right wing across, and they stay right there.
They have the ball.
And a
shot
shot
attempt.
by a midfielder.
Now the Warriors have already made an assault, a raid on the Vampire Weir. But the Vampires will not stay hidden. They will, I'm sure, they will try to counterattack. They will try to fight and
But
get back into
Volodymyr, would you say it's fair to say that the Warriors have entered the cave?
the Warriors have entered the cave, but they don't know what's inside of the cave, you know? So the Vampires, I'm sure, will fight back. They will try to tie up this game.
Very well. We'll see now if Warsaw. They seem not to be satisfied with just one goal. We've seen an attack right away, right after their first goal. So I doubt they'll be going to the park the bus strategy.
Yeah, right now we are in the second half, I remind you. And it looks like we're not sure if the coaches made any substitutions. Did you observe?
There have been no substitutions so far, no.
Currently,
For anyone tuning in, it is 1-0 for the ASW Warriors.
currently the Warriors have an offensive advantage. They had more corner kicks, more free kicks in general, and they're winning the game 1-0.
And we've seen once again an attack for the Warriors where the striker finds the ball. Can she find the right touch? She decides to pass it off to the right. And a great idea by the Warsaw Warrior right wing.
The goalie saw right through.
He did
The
indeed.
Vampires used their night vision.
Well said. Oh, and wow, a steal right away from the Warsaw Warriors.
Ooh, that was dangerous. That was
And
dangerous.
would you say that the Vampires look a bit startled from the first goal? They haven't really been able to control the ball fairly well, and lost already 2 times I've seen right on their own defensive side the ball. And now the Warsaw Warriors again with
Counter-attacking.
a steal and a cross. Not there.
Another
Another shot at the
But
attempt,
the
but the
goalkeeper.
goalie is right there. Right there, right now.
Perhaps the Vampires have let go of their original play. Now they're just trying to attack and to get back into the game.
Yes, we've seen a few collapses in the defense, I'd say, especially on the wings. The Bucharest side not really hustling back to defense as they did in the first half, which allowed for a lot of strategic openings and a beautiful first goal by the Warsaw Warriors. And now the Vampires with a chance to respond, but no.
But, you know, the Warriors, they certainly know that right now they have the advantage. They know that the Vampires will give out their all on offense. So the Warriors are trying to counter-attack right now to score another possible goal.
Vampires. Warriors control the ball. Now it's number 4 for Bucharest Vampires, looking for an opportunity. Finds it with a striker, but Warrior defense right there, unbothered, and now counterattack by the Warsaw Warriors. She dribbles it. Oh, takes a.
It's clean. It's clean.
It's clean, referee. There no whistle.
She was using her shoulder to make sure that the defender will not take control of the ball.
Yeah, great adjustment in such speed of using her shoulders legally and not getting a foul call on that play.
Definitely great reffing. The ref saw that might have been, it might have looked aggressive, but the ref knows the rules. He knows what to do, and very good reffing.
Yeah, it truly could have gone either way, but the ref gave a fair call of judgment in that case. And we see a collision on the right wing.
The striker of the Vampires wants to put the team back on track.
Yes, and as we see once again, she's opening on more on the right wing than her original striker position.
Oh.
Perhaps trying to find a chance.
And it appears to be
a corner.
Possibly a goal kick. A goal kick.
It is a goal kick.
The Vampires certainly hoped to get something out of that position, but the goalkeeper and the defense played well, leading to a goal kick.
Goal kick for the Warsaw Warriors. They take their time. Oh, pass to the right wing. Oh, she manages to kick the ball off a Vampire. Another throw-in to the right wing. Very confident throw-in. Oh, once again to the right wing, but a very obvious pass. So because defense is right there, and once again the Warriors intercept the ball on their side, but a counter-attack by the Bucharest.
But the defense hustles right back.
The defensive play is all ball, and the goalkeeper steps out of the box for a very good reason, and perhaps avoids the second mistake of the match.
I think the goalkeeper is by far the best player on the Bucharest Vampire team. She is the master vampire, knowing every situation, every upcoming threat.
I believe so. I'd have to agree with you here, Vova. And the first goal, truly, it was an incredible goal. Not much the goalkeeper could do.
And we are currently observing another goal for Prague.
So it's 2-0 for the Prague Falcons versus the Moscow... the Prague Falcons versus the Moscow Penguins. And back to the live action on our side. A throw in by the ASW Warriors. But unsuccessful. It will be a goalie kick.
Yes, certainly.
So anyone tuning in now, it still remains 1-0 for the ASW Warriors.
And
the Vampires are yet to score.
And currently 2-0 for the Prague Falcons. And 0 for the Moscow Penguins.
Indeed. Throw in by the Warriors. And is Vampire goalie right there. Number 20. Oh, great hustle shown by the Vampire.
And the game just ended for the Prague Falcons and the Moscow Penguins. The score is 2-0. And our next game at 11 o'clock will be KCA Kiev versus KIS. Stay tuned for that game, KIS supporters, please.
So we'd like to congratulate anyone watching back from Prague with their first
And we just saw a very close matchup between the Warriors and the Vampires. 1-0 for the Warriors, a very hard-fought match. What do you think are the expectations upcoming for both teams?
Well, as I mentioned before, I think the ASW Warriors will use their confident start as a boost for them throughout this whole day and perhaps the tournament. It'll be interesting to see if the Bucharest will bounce back from their first defeat in this tournament. But I believe that both teams showed a lot of strength. Coach Schowski's squad, though, came out a lot more confident throughout the whole match, using their wings.
And currently, we have another report.
We have another report from our reporter Yusuf Al-Armi that KIS
Our KIS girls
KIS middle
fought
school
hard,
girls.
but came up short, losing 1-3 to the Budapest team.
The 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 Budapest Blaze was too much for our Kozak girls as they disappoint in the 3-1 defeat. And we remind you to tune in at 11 o'clock for the our KIS girls B team versus the KCA girls. So to sum it up, just stay tuned for updates.
Yep. At 11 o'clock, we'll be
And
back with you, ladies and gentlemen.
your favorite commentators, Volodymyr Matushenko and Malik Banat.
Sirs and ma'ams, have a great day.